So here we are in the little bat cave here, and yeah, I'm a little tired because obviously I was moving all my shit in the pickup truck, loading all that by myself, and then of course starting a new job and getting used to that. So I'm a little bit sore. You get sore in different places when you're working a new job that you would normally. So like me driving around on the Zamboni, I got a handle that I'm turning like this. It's got on the dime turning, just turns on a dime. And so doing that for 2 hours every night, a little sore in here. Like my shoulder's like, what the hell is going on here? So I'm going to do some rotator cuff warm ups real light. And I'm just going to play this whole workout by ear. And most importantly, I want to get a good warm up to get the blood flow and any kind of nagging little muscle strains that I have, and that'll help them recuperate. And I'm just going to ease into it and go by how I feel as to what kind of exercise I'm going to do and what my rep range is going to be. And I'm just going to sip on this real slow because it's a Rockstar, and I did have a strong coffee today. And I had a Rockstar when I was driving around in the truck today uh, to go get my gear. And I don't want to get caffeine overload to where tonight I'm like getting anxiety and shit like that. So, yeah. So, in training in a extremely small space, you're going to have to move things around slightly from workout to workout, depending on what you're doing. Like, for instance, I did have these dumbbells stacked underneath the power rack, but I need this to go there slightly. It needs room. And I also had this set up, this easy curl bar set up for when I was training back and I was doing rows on the bench. So I'm taking off all these plates and I'm going to remove this easy curl bar here so I can pull this bench forward towards the mirror, and that'll give me enough space to do my flies. And as I was pulling the weights off the side here, I just stacked the big 50-pound side, leaned it up against my cooler there, my fridge, and stacked some little 5-pound plates here. And then these are all my 10-pound plates. They can stay there. And just enough to create room in this area to where I have this free, to where I can have my feet here and do a nice, some nice incline flies. And so, yeah, it just takes a little bit of organizing and get her done. So there, now I got everything out of the way there. It's not always good to have a good mirror, full length mirror, so you can watch your form. With bodybuilding, it's always good to have a mirror in front of your equipment where you're training. And I got plenty of foot room there. My bench is on the incline that I want it to be, and it's not going to be hitting my power rack. I got plenty of room there to do dumbbell presses or dumbbell flies. And in this tiny little room, if you're living in a shared accommodation and you don't want to go to a gym, or you don't like going to a commercial gym and you have stocked up on some good free weights, you can get jacked and ripped. You can lift extremely heavy in just a small bedroom, no problem. Okay? And this is going to be some of the hardest hardcore workouts you're going to get, because you're going to have zero distractions. You're going to be able to zone in. You're going to be able to have your own thoughts without anybody interrupting you. So your mental status is going to be clear and precise and zoned in. Lightweight. Let's feel that nagging shoulder here because I don't want to injure it any further. It's already strained. And my right wrist is strained as well. So we have to take this into consideration before you start training and gradually using progressive overload to lift heavier weights, so you feel all your little strains and aches and pains and feel it out as you go along, especially when you're, been hustling on the grind, moving or starting a new job. You kind of got to get back into the training slow because you're now working and training, and your body is sore from other things. So we got to play it smart, and this is how we're going to continue to make gains and progress and do good at the job that we're trying to hold down. So just some light dumbbell flies, not dumbbell flies, sorry, rotator cuff. And I can feel that pain in my right shoulder. And a lot of times, as you start to get the blood flow in the area, the pain will diminish. Always good posture. Always shoulders rolled back and down. Sit up straight. Keep the forearms parallel to the ground. And you're not moving anything but your rotator cuff. And when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you can see your body is completely squared off. That's why it's important to have a mirror in front of your station, full length mirror, so you can see everything. You can see your posture, you can see your leg positioning, you can see your feet positioning, all equally important. I feel a little bit of burn there. I probably got some lactic acid buildup in my body, which is common when your cortisol levels are higher from a lot of physical and mental stress. So it's not the first time I've been here, and this is what separates a good bodybuilder who's actually getting jacked and ripped than one that can't work through these things, because you want consistency, so you want to be able to work through things smartly without any setbacks. And you do what you have to do, and it's all progressive and being smart about it. I have lost some weight, like 10 pounds, and I have been waking up in the morning when my cortisol levels are low in the morning, because you've just had an 8, 9, 10 hour sleep, and the cortisol levels are going to be lower, and so you won't be retaining as much water, so you can really get a good idea of where you're at first thing in the morning. And my waist is tighter, my waist is smaller, and I am more cut. I just haven't had a pump, and I'm a little bit flat. And so a lot of times guys will mistake being flat and having cortisol levels up slightly to be that they're getting fat. And it's not that you're getting fat. You're not getting fat at that point. You're retaining water, and your muscles are flat because they don't have a pump. So it's only temporary. You got to see through that when you're taking an evaluation. You got to weigh yourself first. Yeah, you're 10 pounds lighter. Pinch around your midsection, measure your midsection, and if your midsection is smaller and you notice more fat loss off your lower back, then regardless of being flat or retaining water, you know that you've lost fat. And once your cortisol levels go back down and you start getting pumps again, you're going to see your body composition change and you're going to love it. Don't let the devil play tricks on you thinking that you're washed up and you're through, especially when you're tired, because that's when the enemy tries to get into your mind. As a bodybuilder, we got to think logical and play it smart and take logical evaluations of why we look the way we do, and differentiate cortisol levels to water retention to flatness to everything, so you're not deceived thinking that you're not doing well when you actually are. Losing 10 pounds of fat is doing very well, and you will lose 10 pounds of fat if you're dieting strictly and missing the odd meal, and you're on the hustle doing errands and on a job that's labor extensive. So we use everything to our advantage. See, the shoulder feels better now, because a lot of times when you're flat and the cortisol levels are up, your body's kind of not getting that blood flow to the muscles, and your joints will feel a little bit more sore. And all it takes is a really good warm up in those areas to get your body ready and back into heavy training. Don't rush it, and be content in the moment. This is your moment in space and time that you've earned, that you can enjoy every single bit of it in your little dungeon or in your basement or in your garage, and not have that taken away by distractions. To me, that's just very enjoyable, to where people say bodybuilding is self-centered. Well, yes, it is, and it should be, because we want to be centered on ourselves ultimately while we're training. We really don't want a bunch of hoopla going on around us. Although the best hoopla going around you in the perfect world of how it used to be in the 90s is going to be other hardcore bodybuilders training around you. And that's a whole different mindset, because when you're training around a bunch of hardcore bodybuilders that have already been in the gym half an hour before you have, they're already into their heaviest set. And you don't want to let the ego get a hold of you and say, okay, well, I'm going to compete with them. No. Forget what they're doing. Eventually, you're going to get into the heavy sets like they are, and you're going to be there. Always progressively warm up. And any smart bodybuilder will know from watching another smart bodybuilder that this guy's not at his maximum sets yet. He's warming up. That's how we roll. That's the name of the game of bodybuilding. And other bodybuilders who know bodybuilding and its roots and how to train properly realize all these things. We're not trying to be cross trainers. We're not trying to be fancy. We're just being logical and smart, warming up, and progressively getting heavier as we go along. So that was 30 sets, 30 reps, and you can see that was the first actual intense set, which is still a warm up, but you are going close to failure at that 30 reps, and it is intense at that point because it's not easy. It's not like doing these guys, which are 7 pounds, and these guys, which are 20 pounds. I'm getting a pump now, and I'm still tired. You know, obviously, my body's been worn down from everything that I've been doing. But this is the name of the game. This is bodybuilding, and this is get jacked no matter what. My delts are getting pretty warmed up here, and I'm gonna take some time to think about what I want to do next while my heart rate is going down. You never want to. You want to wait till your heart rate goes down to normal in strength training. Wait till your heart rate goes down to normal before you go into your next set. And always remember, the basics are warming up gradually and progressive overload. This set's going to be more on the intense side. Remember, it is dumbbell flies. And the trick to these is going as deep as you possibly can to work the outer pecs and squeeze at the top to work the inner pecs, creating a wide chest. Not just a thick chest, but you're going to get width right in here. That went well. We're not going to failure on this because when you're tired from work and stuff, new job, you don't want to go to failure on your sets leading up to your working set because it's just going to drain more energy that you don't have. Strategy: don't go to failure on your sets leading up to your heaviest set. Go to like 70% of your max reps. Always quit a little bit ahead. You don't want to be burnt out for your heaviest set. The reason I drink pre-workout and coffee while I'm training is because the caffeine, it'll strengthen your skeletal muscle. And you can Google it. Does caffeine strengthen skeletal muscle? Yes, it does strengthen it in short periods of intense lifting. And that's what you want, is increased skeletal muscle, because that's usually what tears is skeletal muscle. So it was 20. We're going to go into the 35s. Still trying to catch my breath here. If you got weak wrists, or your wrists are fatigued, or you got a wrist strain, I mentioned this one in one of my other videos. Do these frickin' wraps up super ass tight. Yeah, you're gonna lose circulation, but it's only gonna be for a short matter of time. That's when you gotta have the mentality. That's when you gotta have the mentality, because my body wanted to quit. But what did I do? That's what separates a hardcore bodybuilder from a non-hardcore, is that even though your body wants to quit, it's your mentality that allows you to keep going, because you want those gains so desperately. You'll do whatever it takes. That was about 19 reps. And I think my body was ready to quit at 12. And even at 19, I could have did more, but in your mind, you got to stay sharp and weigh out the odds. Is more going to lead to injury? If it's a possibility that it could, then don't go there. I see my vascularity starting to come out. I'm getting an overall body pump. Everything's getting pumped. My forearms, my tris, my biceps, my shoulders, my traps. That's when you know you're doing good, is when you're hitting one muscle group, but you're getting a whole body pump doing it. And that's the difference between free weights and machines, is that with free weights, all those corresponding muscle groups are working, and you will get a full body pump. And that's why free weights are better than machines always, for mass. And the thing is, when you're training at home, you don't have a choice to lollygag over to some machine because it looks easy and comfortable. No. You're going to use the bloody free weights that you got. Free weights are always the mass builders. You don't even have to touch machines, man. Don't even touch them. Stick to the basics, free weights, and you're going to build a body like no other. Even if you're the same size as another guy, you're going to tell that you got a free weight build and the other guy's got a machine build. You know, and the free weight build's going to look more like a hard work ethic build, you know, that you get from unloading rig equipment for 10 hours a day on the docks. You're gonna look burly, like a man, like a fisherman pulling out 100 pounds worth of fish in the ocean. It's a hard work ethic. That's what's gonna build that manly Greek god build that separates you from the others, no matter what size you are. Your build's going to look different when you use free weights than it's going to look with a machine. So if you're a smaller guy, trust me, you start switching all free weights, and you may be so-called smaller on the small side. Maybe you're a bodybuilder at 165 pounds, 170, but your build is going to have a better look using free weights than it will using machines. So that was an all-out set to 19 reps with 35 pounds. And at this point, I can go heavier. I can increase the dumbbells with my 10-pound plates on these dumbbell handles here. I got them taped up with hockey tape, so the middle is thicker than the corners. And that way, because the palm of your hand is hollow, that middle point is going to sink right into the palm of your hands, and you're going to get a good grip, especially in the pinky here. And it's going to feel a lot more satisfying than just holding like this, because you're going to feel that go right into the palm of your hands and give you an awesome grip. So go out and buy some hockey tape, wrap it up thicker in the middle. See that? That's what you want. Even these small ones, you can see it's designed like that. So if you're going to get dumbbells, try to get that design there. Same thing. Another nice thing about being in a small space and having all your plates stacked in front of you is you can load. Just sit on the bench and you can load it right there. You're not having to walk halfway across the gym. Everything's going to be there right in arm's reach. Yeah. So we're going to go from 35 and we're going to go to 40 using the spindle collies. You don't want to use anything else other than these on your heavy dumbbell presses, because nothing is going to slide off when you use these. And you want to make sure the rubber is on the inside so that it adheres to the weight. Beautiful. We're going into the last set of incline flies, and on your heaviest set, you don't have to wear them in your warm-up set, but on your heaviest set, you want a back belt like this that's nice and wide, covering the lower of your part of your spine to the middle of your back. And see how it goes thin around to the front. You want to have a nice and tight. That's another way you can tell if your waist is getting smaller by the number of holes you're using on your belt. So this is going to be the last set for incline dumbbell flies. I'm feeling pretty good now that my shoulders warmed up. Okay, this is what I mean by keeping things organized. Now I could keep all these dumbbells here because they're not impeding me getting out of my bed. I'm not going to trip on them, except for maybe that one there because it's in front of the doorway, but that'll be moved after. But now I got that full length here from the mirror all the way up to these handles here to where I'm going to do close grip push-ups. And I'm going to use the fat grips on there because it really sucks, holding on to these little narrow handles. I recommend getting these fat grips if they feel a lot more better in your hands. And when you're on a fat grip, it's less strenuous on your wrists. Just as spent. I didn't want to go long duration, so I just went short with high intensity. That's the way to do it. Play it smart.